have to literally hit go live.
Go live.
Are you sure it's powered on? Did you press the on button?
The on and off button.
Turn it on and off again? Yeah.
Glass.
Are we going?
I think we're going.
Hello.
There we are. Commercials.
And now I've got
we're gonna turn that off. Hi everybody. Welcome. We are back. The Knights of the Drunk Watch is back. We are live. We're going to be doing lots of live events on Sundays now that House of the Dragon has returned. But we're just here to do a little like hype up video, kind of tell you what we've been doing, and also get really excited for House of the Dragon. I'm Audie.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Kate.
I'm Boone.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Mark.
We are the Knights of the Drunk Watch.
And
now our talk begins.
Sorry.
Hold on, you said House of the Dragon Returns? Where did it go, Audie?
You're right. And also we have Valyrion back there joining us, since this is, Dragon Talk. Cool. So really the only person that knows anything about what's about to happen is Mark, because he has, and he's leaving.
Sorry, I need my page.
Oh, you need your notes.
Spoiler free.
Spoiler-free notes. We are going to be doing spoilers for Game of Thrones. So if you have not watched Game of Thrones all the way through season 8, controversial season 8, there's going to be spoilers all over this channel. So please go watch that first before you watch House of Dragon. Anyway.
Take a week, go watch that, then come back.
Go to therapy, then come back. Okay, here he comes with all his notes.
I'm sorry. So, alright, so lore. So, yes, it is based off of Game of Thrones stuff, but it is actually most particularly based off of this book, which George Martin decided to write this book instead of finishing The Winds of Winter.
Which he never will.
George Railroad Martins is railroading it all over.
So, this book in of itself, actually, I would say quickly, it covers from when Aegon Targaryen, the Conqueror, came and conquered Westeros. The events that are going to happen in House of Dragon start maybe like about here.
Ooh, so we got a lot of history that we're going to probably
So there is this much
throughout
history
the show
of the Targaryens reigning, and then the Dance of Dragons, which is what this show is going to cover, happens very later on.
Potential title.
So what can we
for the
expect?
episode?
What sort of, like, do you think this is going to be like a purely political intrigue? Are we going to have some battle scenes? Obviously, we're going to have some cool dragon stuff.
All right, so I will say what I believe, and this just from watching some trailers and also reading the story of the Dance of Dragons. I predict that it is going to happen sort of like how the first season of Game of Thrones happened, where we're going to have several episodes of establishing who are these characters, what are their political positions, what are their relationships with each other. And then, remember, in the first season of Game of Thrones, then what happens? Spoiler.
Game of Thrones.
King Robert dies. It's usually, the wars like this only happen once the king dies and everyone is fighting for, well, who succeeds the king, who gains power to the throne.
Now here come spoilers for a little bit, tiny bit of spoilers for this that you probably would know mostly from watching Game of Thrones and watching Stannis and Shireen talk about it.
Yeah. It's just, I think,
they're all going to die.
Well, we do know, you've been saying for days that we do know that most likely by the end of this full series,
the dragons are going to die.
Louder,
so timeline.
The dragons are going to die. There are, the good thing about this series is that we don't have to wait multiple seasons for the dragons to finally come and do dragon things.
It's in the title. It's a house full of dragons.
I think allegedly, I could be wrong. There will be at least a dozen dragons, if not maybe 17 dragons is the number.
Oh my
that
God, we gotta start. Yeah, we gotta start keeping track of all the dragon
There will
names.
be dragons that are they are full size. They will be over a century old. And then there are dragons that will be even small, tiny things that are still just growing and trying to fly. But
You mean babies?
So
Baby
Wait,
dragon.
is
I
this,
have
hold on,
questions.
hold on.
Wait,
Is
I
this,
have-
I have a math
Okay,
question
you
for
give-
our science
yes,
teacher.
yes, give me the
Is
math
this
question
Is this
first.
1,000 years before the events or
Time, yeah,
200?
time.
okay,
Where am I
so
again?
Yeah.
all right. Here's the thing. So the timeline.
No, I
This
need a
should just
number.
be a
I need a
number
number.
answer.
I'm going to give you the
It's
number.
okay, good. Let him talk.
Let him
Okay.
answer the question the way he wants to answer it.
The timeline
please,
in
15 more
Westeros
minutes of it.
is that they say they've started time in after conquest. So when Aegon the Conqueror conquered Westeros, they started that as 1 AC, one
Okay.
after conquest. So, the events of Game of Thrones about the time that Robert Baratheon dies is 298
Do I have the remote and turn the TV
AC.
down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
300 years later.
Yes.
It's like the
Now-
birth of America and then
Yeah.
late.
So the events of House of Dragon are going to start between 120 and 129 AC. So
The roaring
this is
20s.
this is about 170 years before the events of Game of
Okay,
Thrones.
so like multiple
Multiple generations.
So it's not like, I think, so I did research on like the actors and the characters, and the only recognizable ones were like Aegon Targaryen, Aemon Targaryen, but they're kids, you know? So I think that gives us an idea.
Well-
Well, and they
Uh,
all keep naming themselves the
yeah.
same shit
Well,
over
yeah,
and
yeah,
over
yeah,
again,
but-
so you don't even know which one is
But
who.
also, like, I do think that kind of gives us an idea of, like, the really old people, or, like, the grandfathers
Yes.
of the old people in the show we just watched, maybe children.
No,
Yes,
this is way beyond them. Everyone in this series will be dead by the time
Yeah, so
Game of
it's
Thrones
like
begins.
Son of a bitch.
Aemon the
Well,
first.
question.
Whoa,
So-
whoa, that's
Question.
not all
No,
true.
question. You said this is about 170 years before. Is a year still a year?
It's
Yeah.
yes. Even
And how
though
long do
yeah,
people
it can
live
be
back
complicated
in this
because
realm?
It's about
E-
the same as me.
yeah,
Their
because
seasons
even though
are
their
odd.
seasons vary in length, they still pretty much have like a
Yeah.
day equals this many
Astronomy.
months and this many
Okay.
days
So
equals
he's
1
asking,
year.
is it
All right. So
similar to
because
Earth?
then what I'm saying, if it's only 170 years,
There could be.
it's not that many generations
Yeah.
until Game of Thrones. It isn't. I mean, it's like their great grandfathers
It's
right
4
now.
or 5
maybe
at
even.
best.
Yeah.
No,
So-
because
Of
like
like
Yeah.
Aemon,
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
Aemon
Well,
Targaryen.
yeah, I was saying is the old person or their grandparents
Right.
could be children in this show.
Right,
I don't
because
think
like
that's unreasonable.
my grandfather was
Pfeiffer,
born
what are you doing
120
here?
years
Are
ago.
you supposed to be here?
So,
Yeah.
So,
So,
all right.
so one thing I want to talk
Wait,
about.
actually, Kate, before we do
Okay.
that, we just want to do shout outs. We want to
Sorry,
say
I'm
hi
so
to
sorry.
Josh.
Hi,
And
Josh.
hi to Ryder.
Hi,
Ryder.
And Josh says that he expects a lot of world building and layering foundations for future seasons. of this
Oh
season.
yeah, probably. This is like opening up the Game of Thrones universe.
Well, what I
basically.
didn't get enough of by the time the original series, Game of Thrones, was done was I want to know what the White Walkers are up to and whatnot at this point.
At this
you
point,
know?
they're probably just sleeping. I don't know if we're
Well-
gonna get any touch
Well,
on the
like
White Walkers.
and that's what I want to know. We got a ton of Iron Throne. They went for it. You know, they really reached for it in the last
Well, right,
series.
because they come again. So
yeah, but
are
that
they
was
gonna-
like many thousand years before the first time they came.
Okay.
I don't think we'll do that, but I'm sure there will be some sort of threat that is beyond their
Yeah.
political machinations
people.
because
Lots
that's
of
George
blonde
R. R.
people.
Martin. Anyways,
So-
yeah, you had a
So
question.
Yeah, I
has
had a
something.
thing, or like a guiding thought. So looking at the actors and the characters, we have, it seems like, 3 main families in this story, which is Targaryen, Hightower, and Velaryon. Like those are our 3 families.
Is that correct?
What she's saying is correct.
Okay.
Okay.
And also shout out to Zach. He said Ryder.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we'll send that to Zach. He's not here. He's in a different town now, but we will let him know. And we expect maybe he'll stop by when we watch the premiere later. Anybody who's watching, we will be here at 9:10 after the premiere ends, and we will be watching it for the first time. We're holding off, like we usually did, for the episode to watch it afterwards with you guys.
What she said.
So, really quickly, I'd like to do, because we're not going to extend this too long, and we'll be having Mark. We'll be dropping lore throughout all of these pre-show talks and things like that. But I'd like to talk about everybody go around and tell us what you're looking forward to, like what you're most excited about. Let's start with Thomas.
Fiji, Glacier, Ozarka, Mineral Springs. What is that water bottle going to be in this series?
Oh.
I want to know.
What about the
Is it a
Starbucks?
Nevion?
Oh,
Is it a
Starbucks,
Nevion?
no, it's gonna be a
Is it a
Tijuana
double tall
card.
macchiato? Like, is it boba tea? Dragon boba tea?
We're
What's
just
it
going to make
be?
sure that the costumes are weathered enough for
God
Thomas.
damn it! I swear to God, if you don't put it on your costume, I'm rioting.
HBO can afford to smuts them up digitally.
You know they put millions and millions
Also,
of dollars
stay
into
tuned
this.
for updates of our reactions to Wheel of Time. That's going to be coming out as well. Okay.
Thing that I am excited about is that going through the entire cast, they were all in shows called Doctors or Casualty. Fucking all of them, which I guess are long-running British hospital dramas. And oh my god, all of them. So I'm excited to find these people who have all worked together on these shows I've never heard of.
Oh my gosh.
Now we get to see Claude from The Outsider again. That's going to be bad.
I'm interested in a lot of things. Costumes, hairs, bad wigs, stuff. And also, what tribes and clans and people were around that were dying off in Game of Thrones that might be really populated at this time. I mean, who's really strong and going hard.
That's actually really good. I'll go, I guess. I'm actually really excited to see what the relationship is with old Valyria, what the stories are coming out of that, what is the connection, because the fall of Valyria is much closer at this point. It's only 120 years away, so the people that are in the show, their grandparents fled Valyria and the Doom, and I really wish, it is my deepest hope that we get to see the Doom of Valyria in flashbacks.
They are apparently
Good
showing
luck
a
to
lot
the
of
show,
flashbacks.
I want Doom of Valyria flashbacks.
I'll just say, well, I mean, kind of what you were saying about, yes, there are the Targaryens, but then, like I said, there are the Velaryon. Yes, having only read the books, I'm not certain on the pronunciations until we actually hear them in the show.
It's a proper northern name.
The Velaryon, not Valyrian. They were actually a family that descends from old Valyria that actually came to Westeros before the Targaryens came, but they did not bring dragons with them.
Oh, so they're not Dragon Lords. So we're going to have Dragon Lords versus non-Dragon Lords.
Yeah, but there are still Valyrian descendants.
Pro-dragon.
Okay.
And one of the main characters we is Corlys Velaryon. How do we decide to say that? I don't know.
Steve Toussaint.
I'm sorry. He's going to be the black guy. I'm sorry. No, but it's happy. We're having it. No, they have a diverse cast, which is great. But you'll recognize him because actually he's known as the Sea Snake, and because he took his ships and he traveled all the way across the world, and he came back and he brought silk and spices to Westeros and made his family very wealthy and very powerful.
So they're the Lannisters of this story.
Well, and also, the Sea Snake, Lord Corlys, he is married to Princess Rhaenys. Rhaenys. I'm sorry. I hope I'm saying that correct.
Rhaenyra, maybe?
You will notice
she's
that
the whiter lady.
Yeah. She's who is that actress? It's Eve Best.
Eve Best. She was in The King's Speech, Lucky Man, Nurse Jackie, and Up All Night.
What was he in?
Nurse Jackie.
Lord
That's what I
Corlys.
know her
He was
from.
in Prince of Persia, Mutant Chronicles, Judge Dredd, and Point Break.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Just
what
Nurse
Dredd.
Jackie is what I know her from. She plays the other doctor who's best friends
Yeah.
with Jackie. I kept seeing her face in the trailers, and I was like,
This
what do
is
I know
why
her
I
from?
made
Okay,
the
so
list.
couple
Sorry.
questions
Andrew,
from
continue.
Josh was asking, are we going to see any Starks? Do we see any of the people that could be the forebearers of the people we know?
The Starks are will not play a big part in this. Now,
Well, that's assuming
Lannisters.
you follow the books, though.
Well, yeah. But I will say the Lannisters, I think at this point, there is a Lannister who is part of the small council.
Okay.
But I don't think he plays a big part in this story.
I
Okay.
have IMDb spoilers on those two.
Okay.
families.
Andrew, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing who the new Jaime Lannister is. Because I'm a
Bring.
Jaime Lannister fan, and I hope it's not Matt Smith because I mean I like Matt
No,
Smith,
it's gonna
but Matt
be,
Smith is not.
My prediction is Matt Smith is going to be the Sean Bean of this season. I don't know. I'm not looking at Mark, who knows who dies and does not die. But
I'm not making
I
any
feel
faces.
like that's like the recognizable face that's going to get offed at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like,
Except for the Matt Smith hangs around with shows for a while. Sean Bean is known for dying quickly.
I don't think
Just
anyone
like-
pointed
just like
him
for
out
those
for dying
portal-
quickly
just like for
until
those
Game of
portal
Thrones
hobbits.
happened.
Oh yeah.
Jacob.
hey, we got Jacob.
I know.
Jacob, we're
I
live.
think we knew before Game of Thrones, but I would have known going into Game of Thrones if he was going to die anyways. But yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward
Well,
to.
Andrew's looking forward to the next hot guy. So that basically,
I'm the only one who held out. I didn't want to know anything about it.
I don't
really
know
want
much
them
of
to-
anything
I
about
really
it
want
either.
them to wow me. I never touched these books, but now
They
that I
gotta
hear
hit
the
the
story,
ground running in this
I-
episode.
I need to go
But
back and read it.
I-
It sounds like because he wouldn't have given us this information for no good reason. He's doing something. So I want to know how much involvement he, the author of the source material.
Oh, George
He
Martin.
wrote it. He
GRM,
wrote most of the
yeah,
episodes.
that's what I kept myself from. I wanted to see what
He
it said.
he
and what
was
it would be
still part of it, but he did not actually write any specific episodes because he said he wasn't going to write an episode because he's busy trying to finish Winds of Winter.
We're not salty about that at all.
Gotta get that book.
We're definitely
Never
not
get it.
salty.
Yeah, gotta hope,
He-
I hope
he
you
still-
guys
You
enjoy
guys
it.
should
he
score
still
about how
had
many
to say
times we
so.
complain about
Uh,
Winds of Winter in a video.
Yeah.
I will say
We're just
George,
gonna make a Winds of Winter
George
hate
still
video.
had to say so in what they were doing, but he didn't officially write.
All
any
right,
episode.
all right. So
However-
that right there, kind of plants just the littlest seed of worry.
However, they
in
have
me,
brought back
but-
Michael Sapochnik and some of the other directors. A lot of the previous Game of Thrones directors are back. A lot of the crew that worked on it, the
Who's
designers.
doing the music?
Ramin
doing
Djawadi
Ramin
is
Djawadi
still
is
doing
back.
the
Ramin Djawadi
score.
is back.
I'm very excited
I
for
am
that.
ready for some Targaryen. I wonder if the Targaryen theme will be the same or it will
Well,
have
see, this
a
is
slight
I will say
alteration.
this is what I'm most excited for is just to hear how the music is going to go because yes, the
You can come
Targaryen
sit right here.
theme, the
You'll still be on
dragon
camera if you
theme
want.
is a fantastic theme, but now but also of the original Game of Thrones series, that main title theme is so iconic. So I doubt they would
I wonder
stick
what the
with
new one's gonna
that
be.
same one. But
It'll just be Targaryen.
I just
theme.
can't wait to hear the opening credits and what music are they going to do.
Honestly, I'm really excited to see basically all I have erased any issues from Game of Thrones and I am ready to start fresh with some awesomeness.
Please.
I have
We are
no
beyond
judgments of anything. I actually enjoyed the ending of Game of Thrones, but
Thank you.
just to keep you up to date on what we're going to be doing on our channel. So we will be doing what we're calling pre-show talkbacks.
Talk forward.
Talk forwards, I apologize. I did not produce this segment. Kate did.
You don't like
Andrew
Talk
did.
Forward?
No, I do. I love it. I just don't know the title because this was
Oh.
not under my production. That was
Because we're
you.
not doing talk back.
Right.
anymore.
So we're doing a talk forward, which means 7:30 on Sunday Central Standard Time, the same time. We will be discussing the previous week's episode. Number one, for the first reason being, we will not be drunk. For the second reason, that means less screaming. For the third reason means we all get to rewatch the episode, think about it,
Have a
come up
lovely
with
timber.
decisions. However, if you are here specifically to hear us yell about stuff, there will be some of that going on during the credits of the episode.
As we wait
So,
for the next
as
time
we
on.
wait for the next
we're,
time on.
We're allowed about 90 seconds.
Yep.
If,
Just
even
expect pure chaos.
Yeah.
There just
Well,
will be yelling.
I mean, I think it's not so much that we're allowed chaos, but we're not going to try to control it for the talkback.
Nope.
Because there
Yeah.
won't be a talkback.
Kate
Exactly.
is not allowed to tell us, save it for
And
the talk.
honestly,
Agreed.
No
that
more
might have been the
chit-chat
most
about
frustrating
I'm
thing.
not allowed to because there is no talk.
Trying
There
to
you
save
go.
it for the talkback might have been the most frustrating thing and why we always yelled and screamed at each
Yep.
other.
Uh-huh.
So if you were looking for that, We
just
apologize.
tune in for that 90 seconds because it's still gonna happen.
Now you'll just
Hey,
hear.
now
Nobody wants
if
to
you
hear that
want to
shit.
hear, if you do want to hear people
Strap
shout
in.
about, just put it in the comments, and then
And then
I'll shout at you
yeah,
for
I mean, if you want to
10,
shout
20
it out,
minutes.
just let us know.
And then
I'll
the more
shout my
racist side of it,
emotions to you.
strapping for the hot D House of the
Yeah.
Dragon. Yeah, that's
And
coming later.
A quick
Gets
shout
little
out
blue.
to Todd Black. Hello. Thank
Hi,
you
Todd.
for
Todd.
Thank you guys for
Todd-
joining us.
Todd just said he has a question, but I
Yes.
guess it might be a semi-spoiler. He may be. Have they seen it on the East Coast yet? I don't know.
I
but,
don't know.
He
No,
says
you
he
should-
will
you
wait
should
until
be
we have seen the
simultaneous.
episode before
Okay,
he asks
great.
a
We'll be
question.
here at
Appreciate that,
9:10
Todd.
reacting
Or
live
I
to
told
it.
him to bring it back to us next week. So
Yeah, next week, or we will still be monitoring chat
I'd
right after the show.
right
We'll
after the
still be
show.
in
I won't be
there.
watching it during the show.
No,
Hey,
but we'll be in there.
for us right now, it doesn't actually premiere for another 10 minutes.
No, yeah,
Or so.
and we're not going to be watching it at premiere time. We want you guys to get a chance to watch it in the Central Standard Time Zone at least. I believe they're actually doing. I don't know.
We'll
Anyways,
figure it out.
because I
It's the
thought it was
Mr.
launching
Show
at the
sketch.
same
No,
time
Colin
across
last
all
week-
platforms.
yeah,
It
of
used to be
the
really late on
streaming.
the East Coast, but who knows?
But so we will be waiting an hour for everybody to watch the premiere, and then we will be watching it for live reactions on this channel 10 minutes after the hour mark, because I believe it's a little over 60 minutes. So once you're done watching it, come
a
back
few
here,
more
watch
edits.
us react to it, watch us yell about it for 90 seconds, and then watch the previously on. Then we'll meet back here.
Next time.
Also, please follow us on Twitter at Nights Drunk. We can talk about it all week. We will have ideas, concepts, predictions, and just general yelling.
And
Also, Wheel of Time stuff. Yes?
just gonna say before we go, I wanted to give a shout out tonight, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah was a knight that was with us. You'll see him in a lot of our previous videos. He was here for most of Game of Thrones with us, and unfortunately he passed away recently. So we're just gonna drink a toast to Jeremiah. His watch has ended. And on that note, we will see you in about an hour and 15 minutes for the premiere. Okay?
All right.
Take us out, Andrew.
We are the Knights of the Drunk Watch.
And
And
now
now
our
our
talk
talk
has
has
ended.
ended.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Teetotaling nights, but no.
My
Okay,
water's
let
has some
me-
kick.
Okay.
Goes that Dr. Pepper was spicy. 23 flavors all at once.
Are y'all totaling your tea tonight?
Oh no.